Hello, YouTube. I am Fang, the unbreakable white wolf, and I got my friend here with me.
Hello.
Just, I was mainly calling it here for you to say through the mic. It's my friend Ben.
Hello.
Alright. Welcome back to more Sonic Frontiers. Today is basically my birthday, so I decided to make this a more special occasion. Last time, mainly by myself, we've taken down Giganto, and let's just say we are undefeatable. I had to. Okay, now we're in this desert. Going to go find Knuckles. I'm pretty sure there's another reason why we're doing this, and I'm pretty sure Ben here can explain a little bit as to what it is. Gonna have to be a little.
Um, I'm sorry.
I was basically saying you could explain to them what the other occasion is within the Sonic movie. And the new Shadow Generations.
Yeah, okay, what about it?
I was mainly saying that my friend here would explain the severity in better detail than I ever could for explaining. I can deal with this annoyance. I was mainly thinking you would explain to them in better detail about the new Sonic X Shadow Generations, while also forget fighting these enemies right now. While also mentioning the new Sonic 3 movie, the new Sonic movie 3 coming out.
Just describe it. Okay.
Basically describe the thoughts and what we're expecting out of it.
You just gotta throw me in there without telling me.
That's basically how
without
sometimes works.
letting me know ahead of time, so that.
Right. I was thinking about that. Anyway, let's first get Knuckles out of there.
Knuckles? What are you doing here? Never mind. I'll get you out. Hang on.
Okay, so on that note, while I'm taking this guy on, the Strider, my friend Ben can do a little explanation on the movie and on the new movie and the Sonic X Shadow Generations game. Oops. And
Okay, well, just to get my thoughts on the trailer out of the way. I mean, it looks epic. What more do you want me to say? I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog alone is going to make that movie completely worthwhile. Like,
yep.
His design is flawless. The scene action looks so dang cool. Keanu Reeves' voice is perfect. And it seems like they're going to take his story very seriously, which I appreciate. I really do hope they follow with it completely and not undermine Maria's sacrifice in any sort of way. Like, what just having a twist where she's like a cryo sleeper. No, look, I'm sorry. Sad as it is, she has to be dead in order for Shadow's story to work. It's already kind of weird seeing Gerald from Robotnik Alive and also being played by Drew Carey. So, but I mean, it looks funny. I'm just wondering what purpose they have to bring in here alive. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, all I ask is for Shadow's story to be taken seriously and for Live and Learn to actually play in the movie center. That's all I ask for. You know, in terms of like the bare minimum requirements. You know, and I'm sure they'll put Live and Learn in there, but Paramount can't just power out last minute and not have it in there at all. They need to let it be in there.
Yep. That's harsh.
If there's anything that these movies have been lacking, it's having actual sonic music. So let's hope that if Living Learn is in there and this movie's a huge hit and everything, and each ever living crud out of that would possibly be being released at the same day as, then we could see projects utilize more Sonic music.
As for Shadow Generations, I've seen the new trailer to the game to Shadow's specific gameplay, and it looks freaking cool. Shadow's new Doom powers.
Yeah, that was really awesome. I honestly kind of hope to see them also make those powers make a return in future installments as well. I think what they should do is take what is either do more of just what Shadow Generations is doing for future games, but with all new original levels, and run it through it, or maybe even have, or maybe have elements of that mixed in with a bit of Sonic Frontier style gameplay, and see what works. Like, or maybe you could have the open world stuff that plays more like Frontiers like this, and then for straightforward levels, it'll play not exactly like cyberspace, but like closer to that of I mean, I know the cyberspace levels are basically mostly reused assets from generations, but it should play. I feel like there should be like normal stages that play like Sonic Generations or Shadow Generations in this case, with the updated gameplay and power ups and whatnot, and they have open world zones like this, where it plays more like this, and the side loops and stuff. Like you could keep that. I think that would be really cool actually. And you don't have to, for the normal stages, they wouldn't be like these optional side stages that are just reused assets. Like they could be mandatory levels to progress with the story, while the open zone, you run around and explore and unlock new areas and stuff. Like I feel like if they can combine the open world aspect of Frontiers with the solid, straightforward level design for normal stages to progress through a complete mission in order to progress through the story and whatnot. I feel like if they combine these two, we could potentially have the best new Sonic game out. I mean this one's already on par with Sonic Mania for my favorite game, but those are two completely different kinds of games. I feel like if the new Sonic game after Sonic Shadow Generations, like the next mainline series game, combines those two styles of gameplay while also incorporating more playable characters, like besides Sonic, have Shadow, have Tails, and Knuckles, and Amy, who you could also play in the DLC ending for this game. And then also bring in Blaze and Silver. Man, alright. And, like, imagine Sonic Frontier style gameplay or Shadow Generation style gameplay with, with like Blaze and Silver being able to use fire powers and telekinesis and fly around. Like that would be absolutely incredible. I would love that.
Speaking of,
one more thing. I would also love it if they added Tangle and Whisper as playable characters as well.
Yeah. There is a hidden part in this game where Sonic does acknowledge Tangle's existence, but the problem is he doesn't say Whispers. So and since we both went through the IDW comics,
Try that again.
yeah. Since we went through the IDW comics, even though I didn't bother to finish the rest of it because of where it was going, I would still really like to see both of them actually incorporated in the game because IDW takes that in place after Forces. And with what we've been seeing through it, it works. Those two deserve to be actual video game characters.
There's two things. As much as I love the Screen 5 characters that I am, I feel there's two things that Tangle and Whisper have over those characters in terms of being relevant to Sega. The fact that the comics are more tied in with the continuity of the games, and the fact that they have been featured in Sonic Rush as playable character, or not Rush, Sonic Dash as playable characters. Sonic Rush is the DS game it plays. That, and with Ian Flynn now writing stories for Sega instead of a couple of writers who weren't even necessarily Sonic fans to begin with, but
already a mistake.
Characters. No offense to them, it's just true. It's just like they just didn't really understand these characters that that's why Sonic didn't take things seriously for the most part, and Tails started to become more of a wimp, and Knuckles was started to become dumber, and stuff like that, and Amy became useless. It's like with Ian Flynn, he will make sure that even the non-playable characters are well written.
As for they're going to be doing that with another thing that I'm hoping that they do in the Shadow Generations game. Don't mess up Black Doom this time. I get Shadow the Hedgehog was definitely not the kindest game to Shadow. Not only because the game was kind of stupid, but the story was just not right. I get it, Shadow isn't... I screwed that up. I get it, Shadow is edgy, but he shouldn't have had to be like that.
Again, Shadow has some things going over Shadow's own standalone game from the mid 2000s. One, again, Ian Flynn, so make the story better. Two, it's going to be one singular narrative as opposed to a whole bunch of pointless, detours and different stories that all don't matter because of the mechanic ending that retcons almost all of that anyway.
Yes, Wallaby.
So one serious narrative, Ian Flynn, and the fact that Sega is going really hard with the gameplay. Like you look at the trailers and you not only based on what you see more based. Not only does the gameplay itself was really cool, but based on how well Generations played anyway, like them taking what worked in that game and improving upon it with Shadows overall gameplay, given mechanics of its own and its own style of animations and whatnot. To see that with the Bio Lizard or Metal
Overlord.
Yeah, and stuff like that. See all of that.
I'm getting tired of messing up on this lousy stage alone.
Yeah. Now to see all of that, I am 100% certain that Black Doom will be a really cool final boss this time around. The only real concern I have, and even though this is by no means a deal breaker, is if they could improve upon a Time Eater, like if they could change that boss battle at all. If they leave that completely untouched, then yeah, it's gonna be lackluster. But
Yeah.
I mean, that, and I kind of hope that they tie it in Shadow's story, but more with Generations, like the Sonic story more than
I forget how to use the that.
I hope they tie in the Sonic story a bit more and tweak the cutscenes a little bit to make sure we get a more fulfilling, like connected narrative, as opposed to just having like Sonic's story just remain the same, and then Shadow just has like a completely different story that has no bearing on Sonic's side. Like that would be so weird if they didn't do anything about that.
Yeah, and speaking of the whole,
It wouldn't be a deal breaker as long as Shadow's story is good and the gameplay is all solid. But
yeah, the other problem when it came to Shadow and the whole thing is the whole stupid idea on giving Shadow a bonus chapter in Forces for some stupid reason.
well,
And they
it's
didn't
a
even-
cool idea in theory. They just didn't execute right. The thing that could have made that a lot better was that if they had more challenging stages, had a lot more of them than just like a couple, and then have it tie in with Infinite Story a lot better than just Shadow beat him up one day and called him weak, and that was his motivation. Like seriously, that was it. It like tying in more with his trauma beyond just being called weak. Like I actually have it. Oops.
I screwed that up. Anyway,
Yeah, like
so yeah,
like,
Infinite should have been a. Infinite is one of those characters, is one of those villains that had a lot of potential. They just missed the mark.
Which gives me an idea. If Infinite is indeed one of the bosses in the upcoming Shadow Generations, then
They should give him a boss battle that will.
a proper boss battle, and maybe Inplay could do a little something to kind of help improve upon his character.
Yeah.
That would
just
be
leave him-
really, really cool if they did that.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think the Sonic fans just, or the people who I know here weren't really Sonic fans to begin with. In my opinion, I think those people just either wanted to get to their lunch break sooner, or just
Well, no. Here's what happened. I don't know the writers for previous Sonic games necessarily. I forget who wrote what, but I do know that for a long period of time, they had these two writers who, didn't necessarily grow up with Sonic. They one of them must real, and they just kind of like just did their own little thing. They basically tried really hard to make Sonic quirky and kid friendly and whatnot, and
boy, did some of those games make that fall.
yeah, and even though I really enjoy colors, that doesn't some of the cringier moments like Tony no fear, like stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that
I mean,
the way you said it was definitely funny, but again,
yeah,
the rest of it did not really pan out.
yeah.
The only, and since I'm sure you guys remember, I'm more of a boss connoisseur. I'll admit the game is very fun.
Yeah,
Problem-
gameplay wise, it's fine. And
Problem are most of the bosses, except for the last one, which is the only one that's even good.
Yeah.
That's the only boss that's even good. The rest, just seriously, evil Ferris wheel, twice a lousy captain. You get the idea. And a moon carrier that doesn't literally do a thing with most with what it's. Yeah. Only the Mega Wisp armor. Oh yeah, by the way, did I forget to mention, Ben, that there was a DS version of Sonic Colors where they have completely different boss fights, even with the Mega Wisp armor. And in Super Sonic, you get to fight the Wisp Mother, the Mother Wisp, in a negative form.
I knew
And-
I knew the DS game was different, and I did see something about there were off being a lot more Sonic characters involved. Some using like Knuckles.
From what I hear, Shadow is in there. I just don't remember
I
where.
think Silver and Blaze are in there too.
I haven't heard much on that one. Ever since 06, yeah, Silver has had a very terrible reputation
Well,
with
that was
those
his debut.
one-liner.
That's what
Yeah.
made it hurt the
That-
most. That
yeah.
was his debut.
That was his debut, and they made it fall flat.
Believe it or not, guys, there used to be a time when people hated on Silver because his debut in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
he didn't deserve any of that.
The comics really helped.
Yeah, the
Because-
comics helped, and Generations made his fight more tolerable.
Oh, more tolerable. It's a
Yeah.
completely different boss fight.
Yeah.
And much better. It wasn't just a more tolerable version of the same boss fight. It was a completely different boss fight, and it was a 1,000,000% improved.
Yeah. And yet, surprisingly, it's been put as it's another one of many Sonic boss fights after Nega Wisp Armor that they use the gimmick. Again. That doesn't mean it's a bad gimmick, just too much of a good thing can be a little suffocating. Depends on who you ask that has that kind of opinion. But in my opinion, I don't bloody care. It was still a good fight nonetheless. As for okay, from what I'm sure a lot of you remember Maverick Hunter 075, now known as Benjamage Maverick. Oh boy, does he love Sonic?
That reminds me though. Did you watch any of his stuff lately?
Mainly the fact that now he is more of a indie game player.
Did you not see the last video he did?
You're gonna have to be a little more specific. The last countdown video I watched of him do was on Spark Bosses.
He has now officially retired from YouTube in order to pursue his passion. He'll still be active to help develop games, big video games and so on and whatnot. He's going to gaming industry to be making games, helping people make indie games. So he's retiring from doing YouTube videos now. Unfortunately, but also good for him,
Yeah.
So it's sad to see him go, but he'll still be active online and stuff. He might still may occasionally make a little post on YouTube once in a while just to tell people what I know what is going on in his life,
Yeah.
And all his videos that he's done throughout all the years are still up.
Some of them. He
has not deleted any of them.
He had to remove his very first countdown, video game villains, the first time around, and there were some that he actually couldn't get back as he ended up losing the footage on some of his videos entirely. But that doesn't mean they're not going.
But like most
other than that, yeah.
Popular stuff,
most of his better done stuff, yes.
Stuff and all of his more recent stuff are still online.
They're all still there.
He's not gone out of this way to delete his channel or delete his I'll miss this video.
Yep.
I'll go back
I remembered how to do the Sonic Boom attack. I would have broken the record on that one easy. Anyway, talking about some other movies that are other video game based movies. Oh, why not mention that you're doing a go through on video game movies at the moment?
Okay, so I am on a website called Letterboxd. For those of you who don't know, it is a website where you can rate and review movies and socialize with other people with the comment section and whatnot. In-game followers
Hang on a second. We'll be. Hang on a second. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm doing for Letterboxd is, or what I have been doing is going over uh, not all, but a lot of the more noteworthy video game movies out there, and there were quite a lot to go through. Uh, so I'm not going to give out my whole ranking because it's not finished yet, but I got 2/3 of it done. So here's all the video game movies just in.
Here comes Knuckles.
Alright, I'll let this cutscene play real quick.
Yep, everyone's favorite knucklehead, and the one Sonic likes to smirk at a lot.
Some rescue. I'm still half ghost. I'm working on it, okay?
What's going on with you?
Just a little side effect of the island's weird energy. What are you doing so far from home?
I was investigating some strange ruins when I was transported here, then got trapped.
Never a dull moment with you.
Look who's talking.
Just bring me up to speed.
Listen, help me find the Chaos Emerald so I can beat up some big robots. You'll be free and back to guarding the Master Emerald in no time.
Sounds like a plan.
Still a rival. Still friendly rivals to the core.
You are the key.
Shut up.
Yes. Love how they redeemed Knuckles in this game to make him not an idiot this time.
Yeah.
In the same year the second Sonic movie came out and showed something similar to what Eugene nailed on as Knuckles. I mean, he still had quote dumb moments, but that's just because like he's not familiar with hardware or
But he's never a hard-headed moron.
Mentality. Like he's like with a flat out yeah. But no, okay, so in order of release date, I have my rank list, but it's not finished yet. So I got 40 down, 20 more to go, for a total of 60. So in chronological order, in order to state, here are every video game movie that's part of the marathon. The live action Mario movie, Street Fighter the animated movie, Double Dragon, Street Fighter the live action one with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia, Mortal Kombat, the Sonic the Hedgehog OVA movie. For those who don't know, there was an anime Sonic movie in the 90s.
And boy, I watched Nostalgia Critic go through it. That movie may have been Metal's debut on screen-wise, but boy, was that weird.
Metal Sonic was easily the best part of it. But yeah.
The rest of it was just awkward.
It did have Knuckles. It did have Knuckles in a cool hat though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, after that there was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That is probably #1 worst video game movie I've gone over thus far. Pokemon the first movie, Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy Spirits Within, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider the Cradle of Life, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Final Fantasy Epic Children, Doom, Silent Hill, Dead or Alive, Resident Evil Satan, Hitman, actually a bunch of the 4 straight DVD animated Resident Evil movies. Degeneration, Damnation, Vendetta, and Death Tower. Okay. Back to an order release date. Max Payne, Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li,
I watched it.
The Legend of Chun-Li one, not the one from the 90s, the 2000s one.
If you're talking about the live-action one, yeah, that one.
Well, there's two live-action Street Fighters. There's one from the 90s that had Raul Julia and Bison Studio Workers that, of course, or, you know...
I don't think it was that one.
Okay, so it was probably the one where Bison
Egg
is
Man
instead
Tech.
being
Looks like he
portrayed
was
as a
planning a
generic
full
evil
invasion.
businessman
So where is he?
in a boring tuxedo outfit, and not like
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
yeah, that one I heard was so awful. It makes the '90s one look like a masterpiece, like comparison.
And that's saying quite a bit with how not
At
pleasant
least
some
the
of those
'90s
movies have
one
been.
was funny bad, you know.
Yeah.
And Raul Julia gave a great performance, considering that he was literally dying of cancer as he was doing that role. But like, he did it in honor of his son, who was a fan of the games, and I just have to respect that, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. After there's Professor Layton in the Eternal Diva. That one was actually really good.
I'm actually surprised that. Now, granted, I have played Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. It's kind of like a Professor Layton game, but never in my life have I actually heard that they've made a Professor Layton-based movie.
Yeah,
Until Ben told me
it's pretty darn good. Like it's not like the most amazing movie I've ever seen or anything, but it is actually quite good. Like it starts out, you know, relative. It starts out okay, and then by the end of it, the third act goes so hard. Like there's interesting twists and turns, and it has an epic climax and a bittersweet, you know, final moment. It's you guys got to see it. You can watch it from YouTube. Someone uploaded the entire movie on YouTube. You can watch it for free. You know, so if you're interested, Robbie, or any of you watching out there, find the movie on YouTube and watch it. It's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's also a live-action Tekken movie I still gotta go over.
Oh boy.
Prince of Persia, which was alright. Resident Evil Afterlife. A live-action Ace Attorney movie. That's Japanese. Resident Evil Retribution. Silent Hill Revelation 3D.
I'm sorry, but anytime we have a movie that actually says 3D like that, it's more or less a train wreck.
Let's see, Bayonetta Bloody Fate, Need for Speed, Hitman Agent 47, Ratchet and Clank, which I still stand by is a decent enough movie in its own right. It's not deserved to hate. Angry Birds, Warcraft, King's Play Final Fantasy 15, Resident Evil the Final Chapter. Okay, so here's the thing about the Resident. I don't think any of the live action ones are good, but I would say the first one was tolerable for the most part, and the third entry I think is somewhat okay. It has moments and that kind of like the Mad Max style setting, but oh my god. Not only did they still have their problems, but 2, 4, and 4, 5, and 6 especially are all just absolutely abysmal. The 4, 5th, and 6 I watched in a row, and they were almost 1 out of 10 movies. 4, 5, 6 in a row were all 1 out of 10. And I watched them all in a row. That is insanely awful.
Yeah, that is bad.
I cannot believe I suffered that much. You know, it all in a row. It was I just had to see how everything went down. And man, the last movie in particular, the final chapter, has some of the absolute. I'm sorry, I ranted so much.
Yeah, the sumo.
Yeah. No, the final chapter had some of the absolute worst editing and shaky cam I have ever seen for a major movie. It may have just some of the worst editing I've seen for a movie, period. Like, you cannot tell what was going on in so much of the, you know, action scene. And even if you get an idea of what is going on, it's still an absolute, you know, it's still so sticky and so, you know, needlessly, you know, there's so many needless quick cuts that last for like half a second that it simply gives you a headache.
Oh,
It's
boy.
awful. And don't even get. I'm not even going to attempt to explain the story. Just know that
That's
that
stupid.
absolutely nothing makes sense. Like this is some of the worst.
And he told me
continuity
for all that, and I've been through
s-
listening to stories that don't make
Yeah,
sense.
some of the worst continuity, or lack thereof, between movies that I've ever seen. Like, good guys become bad guys become good guys, and then bad guys again for no reason. People who killed off are eventually back for no explanation whatsoever.
They hardly use the original characters from the games.
Yeah, and when they do bring in characters to games, they completely underutilize them in favor of Alice, who is not a character from the game, and is absolutely boring, and do so much with her and clothes that is borderline ridiculous. It is all I cannot stand it. Everything about those last three movies in particular in that particular series is just absolutely abysmal. Never watch them. Just maybe if you're curious, watch the first one, and I can't even hardly recommend. Even though the third one was all right, it's still
It didn't do enough justice to
right, and you have
solidify.
to watch the second film to get some sort of context, and even then, it's still
Even that is a mess.
So it's not even super worth watching. It's just kind of like, okay, that was a lot better compared to the last three entries, but like, goodness, I couldn't
You know, and normally, as for me, I am not a horror guy whatsoever, so I try to avoid some horror stuff, but I decided to watch, not play. I'm sure you guys might know him, Kaiser and the Voices, for playing a few Resident Evil games, and I'm sure one of the games would definitely come to mind. Resident Evil 8, aka Resident Evil 7's DLC, Village.
That's not what they call it DLC. That's a whole separate game.
More specific. Well, I've been hearing that people call it that, okay?
No,
Or at least expansion something.
no. A DLC is an
I
expansion
get what
to
it
a
is.
certain game. That is a
But,
completely separate game.
it's deleted content.
And the sequel, it's not deleted content. It is.
No,
it,
I
it
mean
was
that's what DLC means.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
Anywho,
Anyways.
other than that, what I was trying to say is that I'm pretty sure most of you know that Village has one particular woman that. Okay, I am sorry for most of you who, and I mean a whole lot of you who go for a woman like Lady Dimitrescu, but I don't see the appeal. I really don't see the appeal. I wouldn't go for a woman like that in my life. Just, no. Yeah, anyway, other than that, we got, this pain in the butt enemy.
Oh,
Does that happen?
So anyway,
Yeah. The
okay. Moving on. I'm so sorry
Back to what you were doing.
Here's
I've
the
been
rest
wanting
of
to
what
do
I'm
that.
looking for. I'm looking over. Assassin's Creed. Still gonna watch terrible. The Tomb Raider reboot, which I remember seeing in theaters and actually thinking it was actually pretty decent. Rampage, Detective Pikachu, Angry Birds 2, the first theatrical Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And then there's four animated Mortal Kombat movies called Mortal Kombat Legends. Scorpion's Revenge, which is the best out of all the Mortal Kombat movies I've looked over, and I've looked over all of them now. So that movie's really good. And they're what they're called Battles on the Grounds, Snowblind, and Cage. And that there's also Monster Hunter, the live action Mortal Kombat reboot, which is getting the sequel of
we also got another one. A few others.
That Mortal Kombat sequel, along with Final Fantasy 2, should make up for that upcoming Minecraft movie.
Yep. Please have that be the
Or
case.
and this year's Sonic the Hedgehog 3, of course.
Yep. Alongside, at some point, a Zelda movie.
Yeah, but that's all. That one hasn't set for release yet. They have tried.
Nor does Bendy and the Ink Machine, but it will happen at some point.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I got all the red rings.
There's
I'll
also
try.
Werewolves Within, which apparently got a movie, and I heard that that movie is pretty good.
I've never heard of that one.
Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, they made a reboot, and it still didn't go over. They even did a Netflix series, which I do not plan to cover for the marathon because I'm only looking for movies. And I heard that one's terrible, so I'm not even going to bother watching. I've already been burnt out on terrible Resident Evil movies, so I'm good with not watching the show. Uncharted, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the new and improved Mario movie, Five Nights at Freddy's, Borderlands, which I heard was terrible, and I don't know, wait for Stephen for that one. And this year, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yep.
So, can't wait to watch that.
There was one more thing I was wanting to mention as well. I just keep on forgetting what. Well, anyway, I'm about to go get the emerald. I just need to work my way back to go get it. Okay. Let me go back. There's some purple coins here. For those of you who don't know, yeah, I'll make this joke again. Mario Galaxy much? I mean, seriously, in nearly every single stage of Mario Galaxy, you gotta do this mission to get a star in order to literally you gotta collect, if I recall, 100 purple coins, 120, whichever one it is. And here comes the truck again. Okay, okay. Might as well focus on dealing with this guy for the moment. Yeah, that's why I started talking. Anyway, my friend. I should also mention that my friend Gage. I'm sure most of you know him as Flub Knights. Since he now finally has a new job, he's not really doing much in the way of his streaming like he used to. But he'll be back into it when he feels like it. Like he's got the time. I'm actually having him be my help for getting my channel to not only look better, but also do better with helping out with the editing. Get put down, Robo-Jaws. I had to. Robo-Jaws. Anyway, speaking of Jaws, perhaps you can clear something up. Why was there a need for... Well, Mom told me that there was a reason for why Jaws 2 and 3 exist. But why 4?
I thought there was no reason for any of the sequels to exist. I have not seen any of the sequels. I've only seen the originals, but and of course, second one I don't.
The second one was supposed to be to where we're dealing with Jaws' mates.
The main character in the first one came back to that, but the third one was like a completely.
For some reason, they tossed Seawald into the mix.
Yeah, it's completely new cast and
screwed that up.
And then the fourth entry is like the ultimate, but so bad it's good one. And apparently they said that the main character from the first movie died from fear of the shark, even though he bit from two
He literally
sharks.
fought the stupid thing.
Yeah, and what's the two movies? And that was probably was fine. Like what? He just suddenly thought about it one day and
Check this.
down and then like, oh my gosh, that was dangerous, and then got a heart attack or something. Like, what was that?
Yeah, just what? I'm sorry, you don't kill off a character just for something that stupid. You really don't. There's no need for it. As for the rest of it, they just freaking no. I haven't, again, I'm not a horror guy, so I haven't seen any of the Jaws movies, but from what I mainly go with what Nostalgia Critic goes. It does. Now, I get the idea now that he's been doing that just because he wants to be in character for what he does, but you gotta acknowledge some of the stuff that he actually thinks should be better in some of these movies, like, I don't know about this. Yeah, right, I don't have that yet. Like for, movies that, like the Titanic animated movies, what the frick was the point in those? Those were not supposed to be there. If I recall, one of them was just made by some Italian fart.
Those aren't supposed to be there. No one's supposed to be using animated Titanic movies.
No.
I'm sorry, that was just much
Yeah. I've, at least thankfully, as far as I know, no.
What's so funny is it almost killed me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, folks, there are times to where I can be unintentionally funny and I don't even notice. How about explain your thoughts, if they haven't heard this already, thoughts on the Sonic Set AM series and why it was stupidly cancelled?
I don't think anyone knows exactly why people.
I just like having rants on something that was stupidly decided.
I don't know exactly what made the series what got the series canceled, other than quite possibly they might have not aired it at the best time, so not enough people were watching it in favor of something like, I don't know, Power Rangers or something. I don't know. Something about not getting the viewership they needed, even though it's a really good Sonic show. I need to rewatch it at some point, but yeah.
Unfortunately,
I remember really liking that show,
and I need a better way to find
by
it.
far the most intimidating.
Oh yeah, it does.
My favorite version
the most intimidating Robotnik you will see in Sonic cartoons. Period.
By the legendary Jim Cummings.
And
the voice of Winnie the Pooh himself, people.
Yeah, the voice of Winnie the Pooh. Literally the freaking best bad guy in.
Let's not forget.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna on Sunday we do this family thing. I chose to have my mom and stepdad finally watch the DuckTales series with me, and yes, Darkwing Duck is in there. And yes, they have a Darkwing Duck series, which I'm not going to bother watching myself for reasons. But, yeah. It is good. Yeah. One of my... And surprisingly, Robotnik is also unintentionally funny, despite being incredibly intimidating. Basically, the way he talks to his, wormy sidekick, Snivelly. Anyway, here comes another boss. The tank. Whoa! Nope. Not doing that, pal. There we go. Where the frick am I going? That's a move I can hardly pull off easily. And here comes this again. Almost every time I can't easily beat this guy in one go without having that. Whoa. Got you. Anyhow. Yeah, he's gonna need a breather.
Okay,
Yep.
keep a drink.
Yeah, my friend is just gonna need a breather after that unintentional funny joke I just brought up. I really wasn't expecting that to be so funny. He ended up joking a bit. Anyway, that's just how impressively unintentional random I could be. I apologize if I'm not very good at wordplay. I'm not like Scrooge McDuck, okay? I can't wordplay very well. Okay. Now, if I can figure out how I'm supposed to get back to where I was, I would be out of here by now. You have to check the recording route. Yeah, this one's gonna be a second ad longer than usual, because again, it's my birthday until I got my friend here with me who can at least make things a little more interesting. The best he can. So, random switch equals random spring pad. Anyway. Alright, and I think I went the wrong way. Right. Okay. Well, at least I'm heading somewhere. I'm in the wrong direction almost. Now, if I recall, there's really something here I need to do. That was not one of them. Ah, here it is. I'm not really a fan of this particular side thingy. That's sort of works. I'm not much of a sports guy, so forgive me if I'm not good at basketball. Or soccer. Or anything that has you kick a ball into a hole, a hoop, or a net.
Oh, okay.
What in the world was that about?
Itchy throat, right?
Yeah, again, with my unintentional joke.
Laughing so hard, I'm not sure.
I think it's got... I'm getting the thing that it must have been from the joke mostly, because that's when you've been coughing the most. Anyway, if I can remember how the frick I can get out of here. Camera. Yeah. I swear, in some games the camera is where it's the worst. Anyway, I think here we go. Let's go this way. Let's just say that with open worlds that have now, did we actually explain how much we actually like Frontiers, despite saying it's a good game, despite just saying that this is Sega and the Sonic team's first attempt at making a good Sonic game in a while? After that whole 50-50 spiel track record they've been having, it's actually good that they made an actual good Sonic game for once. I'm not saying the rest of them were not half as good, just half were. Oh no! Surprise visit from you know who. Another Titan. Now I love dragons, so this thing was awesome.
While I cannot fully control it, I can awaken its rage against you.
What do you thoughts on Sage, since we both actually beat the game at one point, without spoiling much?
Very interesting character. I hope that she makes a character in the games in which she So one thing though, this is not a criticism, it's just something I wonder with her being treated as a daughter by Eggman himself, and having this experience that father daughter relationship.
Yeah.
It's like well, you may see Eggman like that, but I wonder how they're gonna do the connection. So obviously he's got the status quo of always being a villain. So
Yeah.
I was going to continue following that up with this video.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if they're gonna.
Are they going to throw some wrenches in the relationship, or just if we continue to be here together, and maybe advance it so that
Actually,
step down from it, you know? I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do in terms of like the next mainline installment. So,
what no? Yeah, whoa. Yeah, Outer. We know even Eggman isn't. Eggman may be a quote-unquote genius. I say that loosely because we know and how for some reason he ends up making such awesome robot bosses, and yet for some reason end up making pieces of scrap
You
metal.
cannot run forever. Final warning. Leave.
You call that a warning?
That was a warning?
You call that a warning? Now, granted, yeah, some warnings can be a little aggressive, but that was just too much. Okay, moving on. We know that Sonic had a very rocky history with...
yeah, let's not phrase it like that, because
Yeah.
you know how many times
Now, granted...
people said, "Oh yeah, the Russians the 3D." Like, we get it.
I'm not trying to sound like a broken record here, guys. I wasn't really putting it like that at all. I was trying to put it at... Oh, great.
Father was right about you. You're reckless and destructive.
Yeah, destructive is one... Reckless is one thing, destructive...
No
Yes, I'm not.
discourse. No bartering. Only elimination.
Not gonna get it, will ya? I'm surprised how Knuckles can actually slow down time just to do that. And yet in Death Battle, he can't beat Donkey Kong. There's Knuckles can't beat Donkey Kong.
Time out!
Probably a
She
death
attacked
battle,
you!
but
Yeah,
sure.
it's kind of her thing. But she's
Donkey
trying to
Kong
protect
is
something.
actually...
Someone?
Well, you
I'm
get the
willing to
idea.
And you just look, it's
First, I need to
Movie
know
Knuckles,
what's going
then
on.
That would be a
more
better
of a
match.
fight.
But they were mainly doing video game
No.
Knuckles.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Sonic is very
Too
trusting.
trusting, Sonic.
No, I'm not.
That's what nearly screws
Trust
you
me.
over multiple times. That's what nearly screws you over multiple times. And yet somehow you keep pulling your butt back because of plot elements. Anyway, oh, and plus the whole thing to where you become an embodiment of chaos due to the Chaos Emeralds, and a lot that has to deal with the rings you collect. I'm also glad that this game does not exactly keep a good track record on Sonic's actual speed. Because, well, why would you want to bother measuring a speedy blue Andro hedgehog with the power to literally destroy a giant water blob monster, help stop a space colony from a... Okay, you get the idea. Point is, it is good. Alright, here we go. Another little tidbit we gotta do.
Can you see that seal in the center of the pond? If we could pull it out, we could drain the water.
What's also cool is that the
Problem
wyvern is
I'm
literally
still
just flying
ghost-like,
about,
and you're
minding
useless
his own
underwater.
business.
Wow, thanks for the concern. Anyway, if I can jostle the device holding the chain, maybe I can get it to reel it in?
Worth a shot. Just don't slip and fall. I can't haul you out.
Yeah, a bit of a slip-up on Sonic Team's part when it came to actually making Sonic. I have actually heard that Sonic was meant to be able to swim, or, well, mainly float, rather. But, the problem was... Yeah, they float. Unfortunately, they didn't get the memo with Sonic. While I'm carrying this, I can't dash, so... Can't jump either. So yeah, they botched that. This confused me for a while. I'm supposed to aim at something. I keep on forgetting what it is. I don't need a training simulator. I know how to use side loop game. Like, what you're supposed to do is actually shoot that little button on the triangle pod there in order to reel the chain in. Since I'm used to literally blasting chains to pieces, you would think that that would be the answer. But nope, it's this. Anyway. Also, it's also worth noting that this part of the Sonic lore is actually good. It's not like other games where it likes to bounce around its story so much, to where you don't get anything, to where you get confused on so many notes, Kingdom Hearts. I do like Kingdom Hearts as a series. I haven't played all the games, and I'm okay with that.
Was draining the Oasis the best idea?
Well, hey, you've revealed the way forward. That's what's important.
Says you. You can't feel this heat. Oh well. Race you to the next emerald.
Funny. Anyway, now that we've gotten that taken care of, time to get to the next emerald. After I collect some more purple coins. What was I talking about earlier? I just had a brain fart. What was I talking about earlier? I just had a brain fart before Knuckles started training me. Oh, the whole, now, Kingdom Hearts also has a little bit of an issue with, let's just say their main problem is story relevancy for some stupid reason. Point is, okay, how can I easily put this without botching on my words again? Their story is jumbled up way too much. And I mean way too much. I let my friend Ben play some Kingdom Hearts 3, and he puts it in basically this. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed playing that game and traveling to the different worlds and stuff. The only thing, is that story was so needlessly confusing. And keep in mind,
This is the only Kingdom Hearts game he played so
a lot
far.
of it was lost on me because I didn't play the other games that did start from the very beginning and whatnot. But in all of this, there's just so much complicated lore that would draw into that I feel like even if I was there from the beginning, a lot of this would just be needlessly confusing anyway. I don't know. It just, not to mention the cutscenes are so slow, drawn out.
Thank goodness for skippable cutscenes.
Yeah, but I also yeah.
Oh, it's this. At times, there are occasions where enemies can respawn. And Starfall. Plus, you get this. This little slot machine up here is actually not that bad. The more of these star bits, again, Mario Galaxy much, these can determine what you get as a bonus. You either get a bar, which gives you a bunch of rings, if I recall, the Cocos, or more purple coins. And since I can't, unfortunately, remember where big is, yeah. It's still fun to do. As for the Final Horizon update that they finally brought out, they went a little overboard with this one. To where you get stuff here and yet you're all of a sudden, how do I put this? You're swarmed with a bunch of stuff you win from it. And by that I mean you get at least over 20 or near 100 Cocos each roll on this, and a whole lot else. Also, I had my friend Ben play some Freedom Planet 2 after I already beat it myself. He really wanted to play because I got him a fan to the two games when I had him play the first one. They're fun.
Oh yeah, no. The first one I picked up both really good, especially the second.
It was definitely. Let's just say we can definitely agree now that it was worth the wait for them taking so long to make for Freedom Planet 2 to finally come out. It was well worth the wait. Because it basically gave me my #1 personal favorite boss of all gaming. Yes, even more so than Alphaless. I put him at basically. Okay, in all honesty, now I love the Final Horizons final boss. Albeit it does have a few issues that they should have sorted out first. That's it. It was still a very awesome battle. Let's just say it was a much needed finale than what we got at the start. Without spoiling what the finale actually is. But, yeah. Alphaless was... Anybody who has played Kirby in the Forgotten Land, or even knows about it, yeah, 30 Cocos in one move. Anyway, we know that, that... I don't like my mind sometimes. Anyway, what the... Okay, that happened. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I think if it lands on a bar whenever it's got to the same thing on another match of the wheels, it ends up going, what is it with me getting Cocos? Anyway, let's see, anyways. Now again, I'm just gonna skip the rest of it. I'm not much of a horror guy, but we have seen the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, because I've seen Let's Plays on all the games.
Yeah. I have seen it twice now. Once in theater with Robbie and our friend Jonathan, and once at much more recently at home with my place with my sister and her boyfriend. And I enjoyed it both times. And anything, I think I enjoyed it a little bit more the second time, because we were able to chat a little bit and things like that. It was fun. You know, I was a little worried that even though I knew from the beginning that it wasn't by no means a perfect movie and nor is it like the scariest movie ever or anything, like I I was a little worried that my opinion will go down a little bit, but thankfully my opinion has basically, pretty much been the same. I still like that movie, and it's currently one, I think, as in the top 10 of my current ranking so far of video game movies. So, I mean, that's not a huge part, considering how many terrible ones there are out there, but like, yeah, but like, no, I still thought it's a decent video game movie. Like, I don't think it was bad as many critics thought it was. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do to improve even this process. So
Yeah, the whole thing is mainly, if you're gonna do an adaptation, and it's gotta make sense, otherwise you're gonna get, let's just not...
Somebody did a good job of streamlining the complicated lore, so let's hope they continue to do that. And make it scary.
And again,
And do more with William after.
That's a huge wall, and an equally huge hole through it. Yikes.
Yeah. Anyway, what was saying again?
No, I'll just say that. I hope that the sequel is even better. But,
Yeah, depends on where they're gonna go with it.
yeah.
Speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm sure you guys know Security Breach, the Security Breach's expansion, Ruin. The DLC, whatever the heck it is. Point is, Ruin is more linear, and one of these days, my friend Ben and I are thinking on doing that one. It's not only more linear than Security Breach itself, but it definitely puts in more. It definitely puts in more emphasis on what's been really going on, instead of just having the whole bullcrap of, oh, Afton's still alive, wonderful.
And it's based on what I've seen from Markiplier and Jeff, it's a lot scarier. I mean, don't be wrong, Scary Creek has its fair share of creepy moments, but I think about the atmosphere and the overall ruin setting in that DLC. It's just a lot easier than just a full community thing. And I've seen it in Ruin and traveled to it, and it just has a much the setting has a much more creepy vibe now.
And let's just say that it also gave Vanessa an actual reason for being there, instead of just being like, if you remember one of the endings to one of the many endings to Security Breach, you do get a chance to save Vanessa. But good luck trying to actually get to that point to do so. Other than that, the other endings are either Vanessa or Vanny at this point catching you, Freddy sacrificing himself multiple times, or for some reason, we take down Afton, who actually isn't William Afton. It's another animatronic that I've learned about called the Mimic. An animatronic that is capable of mimicking whatever it learns, it copies. So, and people have been thinking that that's how the Mimic got its murderous intent, because it copied William at the time. But, yeah, it also makes Roxy it also helps out with Roxy as well, because, yeah. Anyway, point is, Vanessa, in Security Breach, Vanny, aka Vanessa, should have gotten more developed, is what I'm trying to say. Vanessa should have gotten more developed in Security Breach.
You know what? Now I think about it, I feel like, if not the games, then the movies,
They also do well with Vanessa.
yeah, like I could see them doing, because already the fact that we already got her on screen, but and yet she's not in the full Fang persona yet. Like the fact that we saw her as a full character on screen about going all psycho and whatnot in this first movie. We could already be seeing a slow but interesting development of her going off the deep end. Like that,
Yeah.
that could be interesting.
The actual story of how Vanessa became Vanny in the first place is, I'm pretty sure most of you would know this from watching other Let's Players play the game, YouTubers play the games. In FNAF VR, as it's put, she became Vanny all because of the Afton virus, aka glitch trap. A computer virus that William turned his mind into when he was trying to do this whole immortal aesthetic. That's basically what he was thinking of doing. Anyway, now, wouldn't this be a good place to end it off? We got quite a bit done. We got our first Chaos Emerald in a while. I need to get down there and also figure out where in the world Big is. Yeah, Big is also in here. I found him once in this area. I just don't remember where he is. I think this would be a good place to end things here. Next time on Sonic Frontiers, we're going to get the rest of the key vaults on the way, figure out where in the world Big is. And yeah. Oh, I might have my friend Ben over again. It might just be me. Who knows?
Yeah, alright. See you guys later.
Later, my wolf pack.